against injustice and against racial stereotypes, we're doing the same thing. And so we're here, yes, there's a huge problem with the system. There's a huge problem with the system. There needs to be change, there needs to be accountability. But as human beings stand together, we need to stand for the innocent, no matter the color of their skin and no matter their occupation. This is what I have to say to you today. I greet you all with the greeting of Islam, the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
I stand as a black woman not coming. I didn't come for any of this. I came, I thought I was going to be in LA, and I was at Trayvon Martin's. And it was quite different, I must say. So I stand here today to say all lives matter. And I, too, have witnessed some family members being murdered, being locked up injusticeably. But we stand today as justice, and my prayer to each and every one of you guys, I know the emotions are high, honey. I know that there are bad police, but there are good police too. And I sat here early when nobody was here and seen these police having to pass by with reason. We don't want to give no one else a reason. Yes, our emotions are high. Yes, we are hurting. We are grieving. I don't know about you guys, I'll make it personal. I am hurting and I am grieving for everyone, because you know what? Everyone has a father, everyone has a mother out there, everyone has siblings out there. There's some people that lost some nephews, nieces, whatever it is. I brought my nephew out here. You know what? When I see the people running out to the police, that just was new, that was starting. And I told my nephew, honey, we are here for a purpose and we are here for peace. But I tell you what, if that continues, I'm sorry, nephew, but we have to leave, because we didn't come for that. We come to stand with a purpose. We stand in love. We stand in peace. Yes, I know. Like this one said, everybody's not bad, you guys. It doesn't matter the color or the creed. It doesn't matter. Let's stand in unity. Let's unite. Like she said, some of these police, they're not here. They don't want drama. Don't you know they're going through too? Don't you know they have feelings too, like we are? We have feelings. My heart goes out to all of us who took the time. There was a gentleman who came back here. Don't give them a reason, you guys. We can't do that. We understand everybody is upset and hurt, and everybody has a story. But today's story must be peace, must be love. Let them see something good so they can speak good, and this can continue on in peace and harmony. I would hate to have to snatch my nephew from something that's a good cause, but if it gets to continue, I will make the first stand and snatch it out of here. God bless everybody, because this is America. United we stand, divided we fall, and we standing today.
Thank you for coming to Anaheim. If you live in Anaheim, thank you for standing up in Anaheim. I'm here to testify today, okay? I lost somebody I love very much to police brutality in October of 2011 in Downey. But I'm not going to talk about Michael Snyder right now. I'm going to talk about Anaheim in 2012. I'm going to talk about Martin Hernandez, murdered in the streets, right down the street over here in Anaheim, March 6, 2012. He surrendered to police and was assassinated in the street in full view of his community. His community rose up because they saw what happened to Martin. And the Anaheim Police Department struck down that community. They sent people to jail. They deported people. Anybody who saw what happened to Martin disappeared. The only people who were there to stand up for Martin was his family, was his sister Sonia and her family. That helicopter you see flying up over us right now, that helicopter was flying over Martin Hernandez's funeral. I want you to think about good cops when I'm telling you that. That helicopter was flying over Martin Hernandez's funeral when his mother and his sisters, his aunts, his family and friends were laying him to rest. That helicopter was flying over that funeral, taunting the family. These good cops were taunting the family of Martin Hernandez, daring them to do something. We were protesting in Anaheim at the time. We fought for Martin, and we saw what the cops did. We saw how the cops treat this community. regardless of what hood you're from. Regardless of what hood you're from here in Anaheim, they treat you all the same. Because in July, there was 2 more murders. In July 2012, there were 2 more murders. Manuel Diaz and Joel Acevedo were murdered back to back on July 21st and 22nd. And I'm sure you all know what happened after they killed Manuel Diaz, shot him in the back for running away in front of all his neighbors and friends. Guess what? The community rose up and they said, fuck these killer cops. And they came out there and told them to their faces, and what did these good cops do?
Pedro!
They sent a canine into the community. They sent a killer dog to attack women and children. They shot beanbag rounds and pepper balls at the community while Manuel Diaz lay dying in the street. These good cops. The next day, Joel Acevedo surrenders and is shot in handcuffs. And that fact is concealed that night. They plant a gun on Joey and say he drew on a cop. These good cops, they plant weapons. They hide evidence. They lie for each other. Show me a good cop. He would be right here. She would be right here standing with us. You show me a good cop. Until someone has the courage to take a stand and say, I'm not working with these fucking killers anymore. Until someone says, I know what you did to Martin Hernandez. I know what you did to Manuel Diaz. I know what you did to Joey Acevedo, and I'm gonna fucking say something about it. There are no good cops. We are not here to be violent. We are not here to lose control. We are here to be powerful, but we're also here to tell the fucking truth. We are here to testify. And if there's a good cop, he or she can step up right now and say something. Tell me why you're a good cop. Tell me why we should respect you. We do not have to bow. We do not have to respect authority that does not respect us. In 2016, we should not have to be in the street reminding people that Black Lives Matter, reminding people that Brown Lives Matter, reminding people that Palestinian lives matter, that Cambodian lives matter. We all know white lives matter. They run this fucking country.
Yeah!
You understand what I'm saying? Tell the truth so we can get out of this shit. Fuck that good cop narrative. You can say all cops are bastards and march peacefully and protest peacefully and tell the truth like they're supposed to do. But when the truth is murder, when the truth is corruption, when the truth is lies, tell that fucking truth. Testify. Thank you. Who's next?
Yeah. Hello everybody, thanks for coming out. I'm here today to acknowledge the system and the way it works. So I know a lot of you, maybe you've heard, a black female cop took to the internet, made a video imploring police officers who knew they were racist to take off the uniform, because that uniform is supposed to stand for protection. It's supposed to stand for someone who knows their community and loves their community enough to protect it from any harm. And she was suspended by her office.
Right.
That's the system, because that's the same system that will allow police officers to constantly murder people in the street. And it starts with black people, with Hispanic people, it starts with black and brown people, but now you're starting to hear all these white people getting murdered by police brutality. And that's because if someone goes on a power trip, differentiation starts to slip, and it slips quickly. So all these people, they're just saying that says, you know, a lot of, like, you'll be waiting in your home watching other people get taken away and think, oh, it's just them, it has nothing to do with me. But when they come for you, nobody's left. And so we're here to stop it before it gets to that point. We're here to say this is our country and this is our nation, and we deserve to live here peacefully. We put too much time, we put too much effort, put too much money into the nation to be killed for just living, for going to work and trying to continue in a symbiotic relationship with a government that seems to hate us. So we're here right now to show support for the people, the families that have been killed, but also to show authorities. And that goes from police officers all the way up to the state level, people in Congress, that we are tired of this. And we see their silence, and we're not okay with it. And they need to say something about it. Don't just say something for Dallas. If you want to say something for Dallas, why don't you talk about why Dallas happened? Why don't you talk about people don't start listening until someone makes them listen? And if no one had to make you listen, nothing would happen. If you're looking up and I tell you one day you're going to walk off a cliff, you can't get mad at me once you do it.
So you need to start listening to make peace happen. You can't just sit there and expect it to work itself out. That's what it means to be a community. We have rough times, you work it out, and that's what we're trying to do here. So thank you everybody for coming out.
I've been involved in protests on police shootings since the 80s. In East LA, when the sheriff's department was killing our people, the LAPD was killing our people. So this is really nothing new. The only thing that's different right now is all these cameras that are catching this. The cameras have been missing this for maybe 100 years. Some people who are afraid to speak out. That's why some people were getting angry about that there are good cops. And then somebody else asked, well, where are the good cops? Good cops should be here, right? Is there one good cop here? Stand, come on forward. I'm waiting.
They're not here because they're united like we should be.
And the problem is when I hear good cops, there are no good cops. You gotta get that through your head. If there were good cops, they would be arresting the bad cops. You gotta get that through your head. I just told you this has been going on since the 80s for my lifetime. Nothing has changed other than there are videos recording this. And when I hear about love and peace, I think of the fools that we are. You can't give love and peace to people who hate you and who are warring against you and who are annihilating you and massacring you and murdering you and lynching you. We gotta get not just united, we gotta get smart. There should be police that are arrested by the people. That's not happening. We actually have the power to do that. You can do a citizen's arrest, but we're not even at that point where we're doing that. Yeah, it was a little foolish confronting these cops there, but I can understand the emotion. There's a lot of emotion going on here, but emotion is going to get your anger going, but you got to start actually doing some actions that are going to be effective. So please, let's not talk anymore about good cops or peace and love against people who are warring against you and who hate you. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
My name is Shamim Walid Mossad. I'm a Palestinian, identify as Palestinian, as Muslim, and as a brown man. And my experiences, just off the top of my head, I have family who are incarcerated in Palestine. So I'm intimately familiar with institutional oppression. I was arrested several years ago for a non-violent protest in which my white counterparts could easily escape that sort of persecution. And yet I was the victim of, me and 10 other students were the victims of selective prosecution. Basically, just going off what the previous brother had just said, in the words of Madiba, Nelson Mandela, it is useless and futile to continue talking peace and non-violence where the government, his only reply is savage attack against an unarmed and defenseless people.
That's
When we talk about police brutality, we're not talking about interpersonal racism. We're talking about institutional racism. We're talking about a society that was founded off of chattel slavery, the genocide of the indigenous population, and the exploitation of foreign labor. So, I mean, just to let you guys know, in France, 70% of the prison population is North African. In Palestine, in Israel, the vast majority of Palestinians have gone through the prison industrial complex of that state. So I just want you to know that the third world remembers these atrocities, and we sympathize. And you have solidarity from third world people around the globe. And something that I wanted to say is that this issue is not really about, it's not about, what it's ultimately about is the denial of our humanity. And our humanity, we're not 3/5 human, we're not 4/5 human, we are human. Our humanity is non-negotiable. Our humanity is absolute. And just general solidarity for our black and brown brothers and sisters who routinely have to face systematic violence at the hands of police batons and handcuffs. And
bombs now.
and bonds. Well, actually, what I wanted to say is that there's a lot of connections with with communities around the world. So the same tactics that they use to brutalize black and brown bodies throughout Africa and Asia are the same tactics that they're using to brutalize black and brown bodies here in the United States. So, yeah, we have to recognize that recognizing the commonalities, the intersections between our communities is not, it's not a nicety, it's a necessity. And just as someone previously said, you know, our opposition is united. So we sure as hell better get united as well.
Hello, fellow brothers and sisters. It's good to see you out here. I want to perform a little poem for you that's really relevant. So I made it up myself. I am a modern day warrior, colored skin is my suit, and I'm proud of this pigment even though it ain't bulletproof. The police only trained to kill the colored man with his hands up, screaming, "Don't shoot." Father, forgive the trigger fingers exercised upon our ethnic roots. Index finger colorblind, prejudice present in the mind, shot a brother from behind. Can you hear my people crying? Father, deliver us the truth. Even more concerned for the youth. Little black girl ashamed of her head's poof. I'm a weird criticizing the size of her sister's hoop like Lupa, don't you know? The bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. No, its size signifies how much I know. Circumference symbolizes how culture aided my growth. Make I wonder why white privilege is doing the most. Tell them that they're always 2/5 above the rest. A claim even the Constitution used to attest. A nation created to enable liberty refuses to give its minorities sympathy. And even after paving a trail of tears, tells its people that we got nothing to fear. Voice our injustices, tell us we're overreacting. I bet you just scared of the wave we're contracting. And I bet you thought the tide was coming down, but we're back stronger than ever. Listen to our sound. Hands up, don't shoot us. Label and misconstrued us like Caesar and Brutus, Jesus and Judas. People will do this, claim to be clueless, detest the movement. But the tide is too high and my people will rise above the shores of uncertainty. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to speak on something that's been on my heart for a long time. This thought of peace and love and justice. First of all, I believe that what we see here today, this is the example, this is the love that truly threatens the status quo. Because when we walked up and I saw white faces, brown faces, I saw many different kinds of people all here in solidarity, in true solidarity. That is what threatens the status quo. That is what threatens crooked cops, murderous police. This is the kind of love. It's not that peace and love aren't important. It's that it's not about loving those who hate us. It's about loving one another and recognizing our commonalities and our common ground, because that's the love that makes them afraid, because they realize, they already know what we are just coming to understand, which is this: we are all one. We are all together. We do have this common bond. We are all struggling together, but we think we're alone. And when we realize, when we come out and we see that we are not alone, the cops, the governors, those who are in positions of power, they realize they have to come back together and come up with another strategy, because the divide and conquer has been the strategy all along. And then just thinking about solidarity, global solidarity, I truly, truly appreciate the fact that that spirit is here today as well, because that is real. And I think Americans tend to live in this bubble where we ignore the realities that other brothers and sisters are facing around the world. Even though when we just scratch the surface, we see that it's the same struggle. We are all struggling together. And once again, that kind of solidarity, that kind of unity, that kind of love is what brings down global systems of oppression, because we can act on a global level. So I just want to thank you all for being here. I know I feel loved, I feel supported, and I think all of our spirits are going to work together to bring down this evil, murderous system that we are all dealing with.
Hi, my name is Namu Bitsilopochli. I live here in Orange County, Santana. We just came back from protesting the highway patrol. I don't know if you guys heard about what happened here in Fullerton, where they killed a Mexican 19-year-old. He was just riding his truck. Undercover CHP, imagine that. Undercover CHP told him to stop. Can you imagine somebody following you told you to stop? Were you going to stop? Well, he got shot, and police, you said that he used his truck as a weapon. So it's the same story. Also, you know, like, black people are getting killed, Mexican people are getting killed, but we don't hear about this in the media. A lot of people aren't documented, so the media doesn't pay attention to that. Also want to talk about, here in Anaheim, the KKK stabbed several protesters, and none of the KKK got prosecuted or they got charged. There was one of my friends here that was at the protest in Santana was there. and he's he doesn't promote violence. He got stabbed for trying to stop the KKK. He got stabbed, and the KKK are free. I was there in Sacramento where the neo-Nazi skinheads stabbed 7 people. Out of the 7 people, 4 were black. It could have been more, but all I know is 4 people that were stabbed were black people, and the majority of the people there that were against the skinheads were white. How is it that they targeted black people, and the police hasn't arrested nobody? There was a guy with a knife, and he's still out there free. He's working for the union up there in Sacramento. So I just want to say brown and black unity, and also with our Middle Eastern people over there, other people of justice. Thank you for coming, and the struggle continues. And again, this is Nawi Tolopochli, supporter of the Mexica movement. Thank you very much.
I'm not going to go off again. I just want to say this real quick. Last weekend, here in the city of Anaheim, Fermin Vincent Valenzuela is a homeless man. He didn't do anything wrong, he wasn't armed, but he was accosted by the Anaheim Police Department. In the ensuing encounter, he was beaten, he was tased, he was beaten so badly, and he was tased so much, he went into cardiac arrest. Vincent Valenzuela was 32 years old. His family's been by his side all week, since last Sunday. We went down to visit him. He's been fighting for his life. He's been on life support. He was in a doctor-induced coma. We just got news today. I just got a call right now that Fermin Vincent Valenzuela has passed away from his injuries today. So he's another Latino murdered by the Anaheim Police Department, brutalized, beaten, right? Beaten. A 32-year-old man was tased so much his heart stopped. A healthy father was tased to the point that his heart stopped. He was beaten so bad that they had to put him in a doctor-induced coma to stop the swelling on his brain to try to save his life. And even after he lost brain activity,
Vince Valenzuela has died.
He still prayed every day by his side that
He lost the fight. He's fighting for his life. He's put in a coma by the Anaheim Police
Department to allow his mother to visit him by his bedside, because they weren't going to allow
He's been fighting for his life.
As he fought for his life.
Like Damien said, he just got a call and we learned that he has passed away.
Okay, when we're fighting for our humanity. Okay, because for me, Vincent Valenzuela was nothing to these people. His life didn't mean shit to them. And now he's gone. And we're here today. And I got up here earlier and I talked about Martin, and I talked about Manuel, and I talked about Joey, my friend Michael Nida. I'm out here, not because I don't have anything better to do on a Sunday, but because I have a dead friend. I have a dead friend who was murdered by a cop. And I owe him a movement. I had a loyal friend who would do anything for me. But to put his life on the line for mine, he's gone. And I can't do shit for him. I can't bring him back. I can't save his life. I can't do nothing. But I can save more lives.
I'm here at Anaheim. I'm going to turn the stream off.
You can save more lives by fighting to stop this.
We were all very hopeful that Vince Valenzuela was going to make it.
But we are human beings. Our humanity is our primary importance.
Fuck Anaheim Police, man. Fuck them.
We owe. For me,